Hi, Julie King here today with John Reid from CATA, and John is the President and CEO of a national association in the tech space. John, it's nice to have you here today.
Well, Julie, it's good to see you again, and thanks again for all your help and messages to those MPs. That's a great utility you've built.
Oh, you're welcome. So, John, your association is one of the few I've found that actually decided to transform your business model to be adaptive to the changes we're seeing in the digital world. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened?
Well, we looked at our business model 8 years now, or about 8 years ago, before cloud computing and mobility became buzzwords. We coined the word Bedouin office. And really what I set the team to do was look at everything we do and see how that could be done better using a cloud application, using mobility technology. I mean, everything from conference calls to how we do our advocacy. And we've created a model that has embraced all those technologies, sort of digital leadership, if you wish, and also linked up to the university community for thought leadership. So we felt that was, it was time to change up the model, walk the talk by using all those digital technologies.
And you call that the mobility office, right?
That's correct. Mobile in the sense of, I link the team together using Hangouts, such as the one we're doing now, making sure that we use tools that use the digital environment totally, and basically connecting leaders around the world, everybody within our reach, using video, using online conferencing, using all the digital tools. So it's a different global perspective for a trade association.
So it's not really about the technology and the hardware and the software, is it? It's more about putting the ideas together in a little bit of a different framework. Would you agree?
I would agree totally. And the biggest challenge is education, because when you make a change, there's obviously resistance in education. I mean, even in doing our video channel, CATANet TV, there was a significant learning curve. Now everybody does it as if it's sort of, not a big deal. But, when you reach out to interview Bill Hutchinson in Moscow, you find that you're on the phone explaining to him exactly what he has to do to hook up. Now we interview him wherever he is around the world. And I really think it removes a lot of the barriers. And as a business association, you communicate, you link with leaders, you try to encourage change through communications. So you really should embrace the cloud. You should embrace all those new tools.
I absolutely agree. In fact, that's what my book is about, and there's a great case study about CATA in the book. So, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to have you address one simple question: return on investment. When I talk to a number of senior association executives, they get caught up on the fact that they find it difficult to measure the business case, develop a business case, present an ROI. Can you talk a little bit about ROI in the digital space?
Well, I think the key is you need a digital officer as part of your corporate team, because someone has to take ownership of the transformation. Now, we're lucky within CATA because we had like in-house digital experts. So the cost of transition was not a dollar cost. It was more a time cost in figuring out how to do things a different way. So if you have someone with expertise, you're not going to have a big expenditure, because to set up a LinkedIn group, we've got over 10,000 people in ours. That is a free commodity. The interview we're doing now on Google Hangouts on air, that is a free commodity. Now, just because it's free, it doesn't mean that it fits your business. I mean, that's where it all starts, is what do you do and how can you do it better. So the return on investment is pretty measurable when you're really sinking zero additional dollars in what you're doing.
What would you say to the association leaders who charge for membership, and then they're worried that they need to give members value that's specific and unique that they could only access if they've paid, and yet with things like the CATA's LinkedIn group, I can join that without being a paying CATA member. So how do you balance that?
Well, you have to develop products, approaches, or commodities where you are actually the integrator. So you may see that next week we're doing an interview on anti-spam legislation, which is with the CEO from a company that's created a smart piece of software to help us. with a lawyer in London, Ontario, who has some of the legislative expertise. Now, in order for them to have that marketed, communicated to the marketplace for their sales, of course, they have to pay us some sort of a fee. It could be a membership fee, it could be a communication fee. So you make sure that you have a very clear value added. I mean, we can do a video anytime, but if it doesn't go anywhere, if it's not positioned, if it's not packaged, then there really isn't a value. If there is a value, then as a not-for-profit, you have to charge a fee for it.
Okay, so we have basically have a strategy, know and have a purpose for what you're doing, use the technology that makes sense, and would you agree that we should be also experimenting and just doing a little bit of a lean startup approach as well?
Well, I think you should be experimenting every day and be very tolerant of mistakes. You know, we're setting up a whole team, a whole interview team for CATANet TV with 5 of our key executives. They will all be doing interviews on public safety, on healthcare. Now, there was setup problems. You know, in essence, I became a helpline because sometimes the video wouldn't be clear or there'd be questions about sound. So that's why I go back to a digital officer. You do need some in-house expertise, else people will become frustrated. And sometimes the solutions to the problems are very, very easy.
Okay. Well, John, thank you so much for joining me today. You've shared some really valuable insights, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Well, I look forward to reading that book.
Thanks, John. Bye-bye.